Well, I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Really? What?
Oh, just some scary movie.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Is Tamara here?
No. No, you got the wrong house.
You sure?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Have you ever thought about what your favorite movie is and for what reason? If you know the backstory for some movies, it will make you appreciate it way more. That's what I thought when I saw this message at the beginning of Never Hike Alone 2. We also got personal confirmation that we could talk about this movie, and the guys at Womp Stomp are bro, they're really cool, bro. I don't know what to say, especially the legend himself, Vincent DeSanti. After the first Never Hike Alone, our hopes for this one were slightly higher because of the feedback the first movie had gotten. We were aware that this movie also was free and that the principles of the first movie carried over to this one, but we still hoped for a bigger and better movie. Did we get that? Spoiler, yes. But let me tell you how it's bigger and better while we check who dies and who's dumb and, all of this stuff we do on this channel. We start off with these beautiful shots of nature and eventually see this well-taught kid fishing all by himself. He kind of looks like he's reflecting on his life as a 40-year-old man if you mute the audio. We get this sick shot of an axe before one of Diddy's men walk past the camera, because how much better can it be than to sneak up behind a kid in the woods? Jason's music plays in the background and it looks like the kid has met his fate before we see the legend Tommy himself. Tommy scolds this kid for being here alone and the kid apologizes. But before Tommy walks away, the kid acts as if he's old enough to understand what happened in the past. It just gets straight up creepy and Tommy is ready to kick the kid into the water, but Jason beats him to it.
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
And Tommy ends up waking up in his bed. Yes, it was all a nightmare. Or was it? Tommy's a little schizophrenic and wrestles with the thoughts and the voices in his head, and then he sees Jason standing beside his bed. They have a stare down as if they are having a fight on November 19th, and this leads to title card. No, I can't do that, bro. I can't do that, bro. That's the fucking guy. That's his fucking thing, bro. I can't do that. Hold on, let me do that again. They have a stare down as if they are having a fight on November 19th, and this leads to the title card, which then transitions to yet more sick shots. Vincent DeSanti is Jason once again, alongside Brian Forrest, and Ryan Perez Dapple is back with the fucking music, bro. I can't give everyone credit here because, it'll take way too long, so let's move on to seeing Tommy out for revenge to kill Jason. He doesn't find him and he walks down to the water where the kid in his dream got abducted by Jason. And because Jason has become a permanent part of Tommy's brain, he sees Jason reflecting on the water and Tommy does the sensible thing and shoots his shotgun at the water. That's such a sick transition, bro. Tommy gets harassed by the sheriff because years of screaming at Tommy to stop shooting his shotgun into the lake hasn't made him stop. Tommy flips him off like a cool guy and drives off, and we find out that Kyle, the myth, the legend, was chilling by a tree and watching them both. I just want to say, as a side note real quick, this isn't a part of the movie. Look, this movie came out in 2023, all right? This was 6 years after the first one. And Kyle hasn't aged a day. He looks the exact same, how? Was it the makeup department? I don't understand. Kyle talks a little bit and we then get to see his ex behind him in the woods stalking him. From context of these scenes, we understand that these events are happening pre the first movie. We then see Tommy walk up to this doctor looking at some posters, and after a brief conversation, Tommy puts two and two together that Dr. Hill was looking at a missing poster of one Mark Hill. We then see that this Dick is looking at a picture of Tommy. His name is literally Dick, by the way, I'm not being mean, but this Dick is being mean. We then see a tent in the woods and this girl wearing a choker. Like, bro, I'm so glad that this trend is dead. Like, what are you, a fucking dog, bro? Come on, man. Anyway, she complains that she's cold and the man shows how manly he is when he asks her to hug him. They then hear a noise outside the tent and see a hobo chilling in the sand. Oh, no. Never mind, it's Kyle. I forgot. I forgot. Okay. At this point, Kyle has squared up against Jason and lost miserably, so he warns this hippie to leave before running away. The hippie obviously doesn't listen to him, which leads to our first kill.
You know, he's probably just lost.
You know, what was that?
This kill is followed up by a second kill of this girl while she has her mouth open ready to take Jason's Jason. We then go to Dr. Hill, who, like Tommy, is having mental health issues. She sees her missing son and drops her coffee, and everyone looks at her like the janitor just cleaned here. Like, what are you doing? She runs outside and Tommy's slacking off at work, and they have a brief conversation where she says that her son is alive. She says it with full confidence, as if he's in her basement or something. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, he might be. Tommy goes, and she says that she knows he's dead, but they don't want to tell her he is because he's missing, technically. Like, you know, that's recorded. Did you understand? All right, whatever, let's move on. So then Tommy hears a call and he's told that
Ranger Service reported an injured hiker way out on Cunningham Road. They're requesting pickup at mile marker 3156.
Turns out that they found Kyle, and while they are helping him, Tommy immediately thinks, Jason, and asks if there was someone here besides Kyle. This girl says,
No, why?
Tommy goes, because the guy is messed up. I don't understand. But she just brushes it off. Turns out she was wrong because when she gets into her car, Jason sticks an arrow into her, and it is gross. Well, we're not going to show it here, all right? It's demonetization immediately. This marks the third brutal, by the way, kill, and then Jason steps out ready for a fight with Kyle. We then see the ending of the first movie from Tommy's perspective. And basically what happened was Jason slowly walked to Tommy's door and then pulled him out, and they fought until Axel came out, got an axe plunged into his chest, just like the first movie. Which then marked our first kill in this movie as well, by the way. I don't want to skip that. Fourth kill right here. And just like in the first movie, the girl freaks out, then gets pulled out of the van, getting her neck broken, making the fifth kill. In this movie, it was a little more brutal because we actually got to see what happened to her. You know what I mean? It's not the best one. I'll spoil that right now. But it's way better than the first one. So after we get these two kills, obviously Tommy got messed up. Jason squares up against Kyle, just like last time, and Tommy delivers the same line.
Hey, Megahead! Remember me, asshole? Hang on, kid!
Before pulling off. Tommy then stops the van and informs the base before Jason shows up again and gets shotgun to the chest. By the way, I don't know how Jason showed up that fast. He was walking very, 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 very slow, and the car was speeding off, so whatever you feel like explaining that with, do you. Tommy then starts the van again, but Jason, obviously being pissed off, grabs Tommy. But, he's got butterfingers, so Tommy gets him off. We then see Dr. Hill listening to a recording of her son before Tommy crashes the party. She gets freaked out, obviously, and they rush Kyle to the emergency. Kyle still has PTSD from Jason even when he's seeing the light. We then see Dick complaining because he's old and angry, and Tommy shows up behind him and blasts his face with a shotty. Never mind, it was a dream again, god damn it. You gotta love how important Tommy is to the sheriff, but Tommy just couldn't care less about his existence. Dick hears that Tommy is in the hospital and that there were homicides, and he puts two and two together. No, not that Vincent committed these homicides. That Tommy did, okay? Make sense of that. Honestly, Tommy is acting crazy, so look, I don't blame the sheriff. I'm just saying, It's not as logical as you think, okay? He's not a maniac. He doesn't say anything until he himself sees the bodies, and then he puts out an APB on Tommy. Alright, like this shit's about to get messed. We find out that Kyle is really, really messed up, like almost handicapped messed up, and Tommy reveals what happened. Dr. Hill rejects the idea, and Tommy runs down the story of the past, and she almost calls Dick before Tommy goes.
Now you do that, and I promise you'll never get the answers you're looking for about Mark.
Oh, yeah? What do you know?
He then says her son was murdered, and she gets more defensive and gets mad that he never told her. I mean, as if she didn't just like threaten him with turning him into the cops. Again, I don't understand the logic here, but yeah, whatever, we move on. She eventually buys into his idea, and they notice a GoPro on Kyle's backpack, so the argument is immediately settled. They go through the footage from the old movie until they get to the head of Jason's mom. The head somehow looks worse for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what they did. I don't know, budget, cuts. Maybe they didn't care about the head as much. They just threw some fucking, clay together. I don't know. It's ugly.
Peter, what he's doing? Why you bully me? You fucking beat.
They essentially go ill, and Jason again can't tolerate the disrespect of his mom, so he shows up. Kyle wakes up, sees Jason, falls out of bed. Tommy shows up. What the fuck? This whole psychological aspect is making me insane, I'll be honest. I don't know what is real. Tommy asks for Kyle's help. Kyle goes,
I don't know, man. Pretty fucked up here.
and Tommy asks where he found the head of Jason's mom. Kyle asks why he wants to know, and Tommy has a theory that if the head gives heads, if the head is destroyed, then Jason will leave once and for all. The cops are closing in on the hospital, and Kyle gets out of bed completely fine. So, okay. And by the time they get to the bottom floor, Dick is there with a full-on gang ready to take Tommy to the morgue. Dick accuses Tommy out loud and then reveals that Dr. Hill's son is dead and gives a lame excuse to why before they hear that some psycho is ruining the cars outside. Kyle steps in and says, "Shut up, Dick, and listen to Tommy." Yet Dick is being a dick and says, "Nah, you're lying." The power gets cut. Dick gets pissed. And an elephant walks at the end of the hall. And oh shit, it's Jason. We get our 6th kill by this head toss who Jason killed outside, who was so meanly shooting at him. The sheriff says,
Holy shit!
Before Jason goes on a spree, he first slashes this cop, who we see clearly from another's perspective. Jason then turns around and punches through his chest. Okay. He then grabs this nurse, who I actually liked, and disgustingly and slowly opens up her stomach, which, whoever came up with this kill, you're psychopathic. I'm sorry, but it's true. This security guard freaks out and tries running until Jason swings his scythe into the security guard's back. And while all of this is happening, Dick is standing there in disbelief, and I actually love it. Like, his face looks not distraught, he looks horrified, petrified, mortified, if that's the word. Like, he actually looks like his soul got pulled out of his back. That's what he looks like. Tommy then grabs Dick and they run out, ending this segment with an extra 4 kills, totaling 10 so far. The sheriff says sorry and kisses Tommy's feet, metaphorically, after all of this time. They realize that they won't be able to run to the van with Jason on their butt, so Dick does a power move and Halo dual wields some pistols and unloads into Jason.
Hey! Jason! Wherever the red dot goes, you bang. Suck lid, fuckhead!
Jason walks towards him and again hurls his axe into Dick's trap. Dick says,
You bang!
and bangs Jason through the head. Jason quickly looks back down at Dick and we get, like, potentially the grossest kill yet. Jason smashes his head, marking our 11th kill. And by the way, I said the last one, you're a psychopath. In this one, whoever came up with this one, maniac. Imprison them. Like a psychiatrist. Fucking take them into the same hospital that the Joker's in, please. This is terrifying. This is terrible. The van then starts up, and as they're driving, Kyle almost gets an axe to the face because, again, Jason threw the axe for the 15th time. Jason gets sad that Kyle's disrespecting ass is still alive, so he jumps into his home before Kyle and Tommy leave Dr. Hill behind to go on a mission. Jason feels their presence, and he has a late night shift of killing a head, so he gets out of the water. He sees Tommy and Kyle looking for the head, and Kyle finds it, so now it's time to destroy it, right? Well, Kyle kind of just like holds on to it and then like just runs because like why not? Jason teleports beside them and deflects literally a shotgun bullet. And Tommy and Kyle run away. They jump out of the second floor like the last movie, but it's not as cool as last time. And the head rolls away. Tommy shoots Jason in the face. Nothing happens. Then he rolls away and grabs the fantastic and amazing multi-use shovel from the first movie, and the shovel survives 0 hits. This short fight was only there for Kyle to be able to get away, but Tommy can only hold off for so long, so Jason shoots an arrow into his shoulder, then an arrow into his stomach, and it looks like it's over for Tommy, like you would think, but Dr. Hill comes from behind with the axe Jason threw from before and penetrates his skull. I think she hit a nerve, like I think, because like this makes him fall asleep. Like this never makes him fall. He was shot in the fucking head before. Like I don't understand. But obviously he's not knocked out for too long. So what happens is he wakes up and he pulls out the axe from his head. Obviously they both look at him like holy shit. And then Kyle just shows up like a legend and then provokes Jason with the hey, looking for this, and shows him that ugly head. For some reason, Kyle still hasn't destroyed the head, okay? Why, Kyle, why? Literally, the plan was to destroy it, and he held on to it. Like, he ran after the head, he grabbed it, held on to it, he fucking let Tommy get shot in the body twice, ready to get fucking killed. Dr. Hill had to axe Jason in the face, and he still has the head. He runs towards the water and falls, classic, and then Tommy says what we're all thinking. He looks around for something to destroy it with, as if your feet don't exist, but we move on. And he sees the stick from the last movie which signaled Jason's mom's original death. Jason jumps out of the water, ready for Kyle to finally get finished, but Kyle uses Jason's mom as a shield and Jason kills his mom for a second time. He's in disbelief and he sees his mom's ghost in the water calling him. Being the baby he is, little Jason, he's about to go, but Tommy grabs his machete and cuts off his head, finishing Jason and making this the 12th kill and the final one. Tommy then falls over because, his wounds, and we see the news talking about the events that just took place. Kyle and Tommy have this moment by the water, which is really nice, and you can see the relief in Tommy's face. They hug, and Kyle gives us the classic outro.
Kyle out.
Take care, kid.
Now, normally, I would think that this is really, really cringe, like on an extreme level. But now, trust me when I say this, I do not know why, but I actually thought it was funny. Maybe it's Kyle, like the actor, like I don't know, it's something with him. His delivery is not cringe. I don't know why. The final shot we see is Jason's head in the water and a breath comes out of it. Now, obviously, Jason should never fully be killed, right? Because then every movie would stop. We can't milk it anymore. But we will still count it as a kill from before. All right, so let me just say that we loved this movie, okay? We did have quite high expectations for this one, and for us both, it surpassed our expectations. Now, 12 people got shot down in this movie, one of whom was Jason, breathing, but he was decapitated, but still breathing, whatever. We counted, So obviously, who gets what prize? That's what we're all here for, right? Let's start with the top of the tape prize for the best kill. This prize will go to the Dick. Look, it was nasty. It was really surprising, I'll be completely honest, and it was brutal. Even though you could see that the head was, plastic from the smash, it wasn't that obvious, but it was disgusting and it really surprised us. The zero body credit prize for the worst death goes to none other than the hippie girl, okay? Because, obviously it was an off-screen death. Now, this is also the prize that we gave to the last movie with the off-screen death. The reason why this one was the worst one is because this one had nothing to show for the kill. You know what I mean? Like, even the cop that got killed at the hospital, outside of the hospital when his head was tossed, at least his head was tossed. Like, we saw something of it. This one, it was just mouth open, cut to black, whatever, you know what I mean? And we know what happened to her. It's very obvious. As for the kill scale, which is the rating of the movie, we'll give it a 9, okay? So the thing is, we couldn't decide if we were gonna make it a 9 or a 10. But the reason we gave it a 9 is because some of the scenes were too slow. Not necessarily that the scenes were drawn out, because everything was needed in each scene, right? But we feel like the actors, like they were a little too slow in these important scenes. So the importance of these scenes felt dumbed down, which is why it didn't get a perfect 10. The dummy prize for dumbest character has to go to the hippie. Sorry, but he was warned by a guy who was clearly stabbed to GTFO the forest, and yet he didn't leave. He just walked by so stupidly, trying to convince himself that everything was fine. Now, as for the liters spilled, i.e. the gore level, I think it surpassed our expectations as well. It was gory, and it had so many more kills than the last movie. It was gross, it was bloody, horror movie-esque, basically. Well done. You get a 10 out of 10 in this category, without a doubt. And that's it. Never Hike Alone 2 was released October 2023, and is the last movie out of the Never Hike Alone movies so far. There is a prequel that came up before this, and that will be our next video. So until then, well, I don't know, bye, I guess.